go now?
Yes.
Are you sure? Is everything okay? Hello, quilty people. I am one of the unfortunate victims, so to speak, of the scam that's been going around where they are using images they find on the internet to create knockoffs and sell them to you as the image they originally found. You wonderful folks pinged me to death when it first started, and I love you for looking out for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I will tell you, I'm angry about it. I'm not angry because they're using my image. I'm angry because they're lying. They are literally taking an image of this quilt and hundreds of quilts like it, and they are selling you this. These things are not the same in any way, shape, or form. And what I really want people to know is what they're getting. It's not this quilt that has thousands of hours in handwork and 3D objects and buttons sewn on and little details like this and magical invisible books of invisibilities and other personal touches. This that has 1,000 pebbles in it and hand-painted words and nifty polymer clay cars is not this. You know, this isn't bad. You know, I've been looking at it for a couple days since it got here, and you know, it's okay. It's a $50 blanket. I'm not even sure that it's a $50 blanket. Some things you want to note is they do call it a blanket. They don't call it a quilt, so I will give them points for that. It is not a quilt. It is 2 pieces of extremely crappy fabric. They are jammed together. I think there's some sort of like kind of gross, icky polyester or something shoved in here. It feels like there's something in there. It's definitely not comfy and it's definitely not warm. Well, that's a lie. It's hot. It's miserable to get under this thing. I tried it. Don't do it. But what they've done here, this is not stitching. It may look like it from the angle you're at, but it's not. It looks like what they've done is they've, you know, taken these things and heat pressed them. And these are tiny little heat dots shoved in there in that quilty-like pattern. The only stitch anywhere on this thing is around the edge on this. I don't know what this is. I don't even think it's as nice as polyester. I'm not sure, but that's the only place that there's a stitch, and it's a big, long, wide, almost a basting stitch that binds the quilt blanket. Not a quilt. This is not a quilt. It looks like they've got some limitations when they create it. They didn't flat out take the picture and print it. Somewhere along the line, they used some sort of vector software. A lot of it, I think they probably did import. I don't think anybody set and designed that. I think they probably just grabbed it right off the pattern of the book, or perhaps found something that was a close match to it. I can tell places that they got lazy because it may have been too much effort. Like, we're missing the complete Patronus here. The dogs always have something to say. Hey, shh! I'm talking to the world. Shush! Okay, interruption complete. I think the dogs are finished. So, there's places where they had some limitations, like here. I expect they just went with the 2 colors because recreating what is here was too much effort. I don't even know why they bothered with this one. They should have just made it a block. They left off some titles. They left off details like in the skull here. It is definitely not what you're ordering, and that is my point. How about this lovely? This is a test block. How did that get on there, right? That's attention to detail for sure. So anyway, the mission that I went on was to make it stop, not just for me, but for the people who were getting ripped off and for the other quilters whose images were being stolen. I'm just a girl who makes things. I don't have a publishing house. I don't have a team of lawyers. I don't have really any support in it. So I did the best I could with what I had to work with. And definitely take a look at my blog. It'll have the whole story. It'll also have some less than wonderful support from my friends at PayPal and some other places where I tried to do something about it. But at this point, all I can really do is tell you, don't buy these unless you know what you're getting. In which case, if you want it, who am I to tell you not to buy it? It is definitely a disappointment, and it's definitely not this. And I assume it's not any of the other quilts that people have purchased. So that's all I have to say about that.